stream issues, we're gonna jump right back into it.
We're gonna wander back in.
Uh,
Mm, mm,
uh,
mm.
gonna
Slowly.
bottle in.
There we go.
Yeah. So let's pick up. I'm not sure.
Radcliffe,
Oh, wait, I'm not Radcliffe. I did that.
Yes.
have you ever ridden on a hot air balloon?
Yes, I have. I have.
And what is it like?
Very high up.
Like, but is it scary? I mean, I can
Um,
fly, but
I don't
I
think
don't think I've
it's.
ever flown as high as the hot air balloon goes.
I don't think it's scary. You'll be fine.
Is it fast?
No, not really. It's pretty slow. If we want to use a hot air balloon, we'll want to leave for our destination within a day.
Okay. Should we ask everyone else if they want to join us?
We can. They can certainly join us.
Fletch is gonna look back for everyone and go over to Sorrel and say, "Excuse me, Sorrel,
Yes, my winged friend.
have you ever been on a hot air balloon?
Only a handful of times.
Would you join us if we were traveling somewhere? I would really
Well,
like to hear some stories. You sound like you'd be someone that would have lots of things to tell along the
as
way.
you did say, I should keep an open mind. So perhaps just a tale or two.
And to
You
travel.
know, there's a story about that castle right up there. And he
Castle?
and Sorrel points up towards the castle that's kind of built into the the valley walls. Perhaps if we take the balloon up, we'll have a better view, and I'll tell you its tale.
I would really enjoy that.
It is a sad story, though.
Oh, but as long
Speaking
as
of
it's
tails, look out, and I'll kind of come in and whip my tail around at you, Fletch. Kind of dragging Ollie with me.
careful with that thing.
Sorry, it gets out of control sometimes.
Some
we're traveling. I heard. Where are we going?
in that.
Uh, Going into the clouds? No way.
Well, I asked Radcliffe, and Radcliffe said that they've been in one before, and so is Sorrel. And Sorrel said he'll give us a story about that castle that's up in the sky too. Well, it's kind of up in the sky. That's about as high as I usually fly, but the hot air balloon goes higher.
I'm gonna kind of throw my arm around Radcliffe. Hey, you've been in a cloud before?
I yeah, I have traveled all over.
I've been in the hot air balloon. Radcliffe and I went in a
It's
hot air
true.
balloon.
We do it all the time.
Wow,
Flip.
I'm missing
Radcliffe
out.
had to keep me from falling out of one.
Yes, that's
I-
also true.
Flip is
Imagine-
tugging
I believe that.
on Ollie's like clothing,
Mhm.
saying, "Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What is it like? What is it like?"
It's like flying. That's all. That's all it's you're in the sky and you're just have you floated on water before? It's like
You
that,
could
but
float
in
on
the
water.
you can float on water. So you can float in the water. If you do that, it's like the sky too. You can float on the sky.
So I could just lay on the sky?
No, that's
No.
not how that works.
Lick walks by and hands you each a stick and says, "Hold this," and keeps going.
Now I
But-
have 2 sticks.
Fletch is holding a stick.
It's one of my always moves.
You can
Hold
just
this.
give people sticks? Is that
I
what
get,
it is?
I say, "Hold this."
I'm gonna fidget with the stick because that's one of my always moves. Is I can fidget. So I'm like twirling the stick like a drumstick around my fingers. Should we book some passage to go to on the hot air balloon?
Who are you asking?
Everyone.
Hmm.
Sounds great. Count me in. I spent all my money though. Go with you.
Oh, I could try to. Hold on one second, and I go over to a moth box, and you see me like being all sneaky and like twirling a little dial that has a bunch of like symbols on it that are only for the moth keepers tenders, and I'm like opening a little box like moth box, and I'm pulling out some packages, and I put a letter inside and lock it. Well, I have a few to deliver. I can make some money for us so we can travel.
I'm with you, Fletch. Let's go. I feel like Nope really has either very poor control over any sorts of money he.
Mm.
So while this conversation has been, Esme has moved and like stares up at the valley sky, sobbing quietly, pulls a feather from her as she sees like dancing dandelion seed in front of her, offers the feather. Oh, and forgotten God. The feather and the seed just kind of float, kind of move.
Mm.
She takes her time.
Lick
Who's
walks
gonna?
by you.
Sorry, what did you?
The Click is going to walk by you, and you
Oh.
still refuse magic, and keeps going.
Uh,
Isn't. Who's gonna, like, I guess, take steps to try to do? I have a way to kind of in.
I'm gonna speed things up a little bit and just say that Fletch delivers a few packages in town, collects his tender, and starts to make his way to the hot air balloon.
Right. And as you guys are all like surrounded at the to passage on hot air the Larice, the smug captain, and right behind him is Don, the chameleon, and he's like whispering into the captain's ears and like pointing at all of you. And you see like this like worried look, like anger look, like cross over his features. And he's just like kind of stomps his feet a little bit as
I believe
So-
Larice is a she, right?
oh, I don't know.
Larice, I think, yeah.
Mhm.
Larice is she.
Okay, she. Okay.
And for the people that
Yes.
weren't, Larice is a peacock.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I totally forgot about that. But yeah, and she she looks relatively intimidating and threatening as you guys come up. Like there's definitely something that's like threatening and ominous. I think we can end it there. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to spend a token, but I can wait till next time.
Oh well, I get a token for offering feather to the
Mhm.
forgotten god.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready for a checkout?
Yes. So, let's do a couple of them. How about 2? So, as player, what did you appreciate about your play or someone else's play today?
Um, I will start. I liked a few people's play today of the playfulness. You know, like we play some games where there's a lot of seriousness and sometimes serious subjects. It was just nice to play a very playful game.
Pick somebody.
Nope, it's your turn.
I was actually hoping you would pick me also because I was thinking the same thing. Like I appreciated getting to bounce off of, yeah, just have that for my almost just like I'm thinking about it, like Nope almost just doesn't. Why are you so grumpy? Like, well, like this is like not worry about it, you know. It's kind of nice to do that and but to also explore the wonder of going back to our checking wonder. Not even just all this thing about like wonder. Sitting down and looking at the sky and laughing with
Mm-hmm.
Laura.
It's a theme tonight. You
I'm
know what I
going
mean?
for, I'm just you gotta lean into it sometimes, so
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
I'm gonna go with a different thing. Even though I really loved all the playfulness tonight, I really liked Menachem and Tennille going with it with the story and the crow and 33. I thought it was great. And I think that's something else different we get to do. Picking up a story within a story.
Yeah.
And it was very fun and playful in its way. and created awe and wonder for Ollie and Fletch, and I liked that. I'm gonna pass it to Scott.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a theme tonight. You know, there were all these great moments where we kind of like paused and luxuriated in these little aspects of a scene that I feel like we skip over sometimes. I think the swirling of the dandelion seeds in time with the song, we agreed on like little magic, and that was a great example of it. And it was just charming and brilliant. So, Tennille.
Yeah, I loved playing with the dandelion seeds and seeing other people kind of. That was a lot of fun. I think, honestly, it's been quite a wonderful experience just watching Scott try to talk slowly. I mean, he's been doing a
Drives
great
me
job.
nuts, but I love it.
It's funny.
It's like so different than how he actually is. And so like I see him just really like leaning in, and that's just, it's a pretty awesome thing to see. And you know, I'm hopeful to like build a connection between Esme. So that's been pretty cool. And let's go to Kayla.
I enjoyed Tennille's performance of Don the Chameleon and Scott's performance of his cat, Vader.
Risky feline.
Nice.
Yeah. Who's left?
Menachem.
Menachem.
All right, Menachem.
Really like just getting to know some of these characters. A few. I thought Click got to do some personality, but also Fletch and Sorrel and Ali and Nope. The Nope or Nope? I think it's. I mean, I think no one really knows, but we got to see a lot of person.
Nope. Yeah. Like you have to go to the bathroom, but no.
But you sometimes say Nope, so you know. You got to see.
Yeah, I have to remind myself. It's Nope.
We got to see a lot of personality coming through in a bunch of the characters. And our final question, back to the name of the game. The name of the game may seem contradictory to some people because wandering is something you do away from home. The game is called Wanderhome. I believe it's one word, actually.
Yeah.
Look at the book cover. It's one word. So what does the name mean to you or evoke for you, players?
I'll go first on this one. I'm trying to play this with the character a little bit. Dopey. You can't get lost, right? It's like wherever you go is okay because that's where you're. You're where you're supposed to. So I think personally for myself, always worrying about like am I the right thing, where I'm supposed to be, about it in so many ways, right? Lives, in our careers, in whatever way. But the answer is just yes. Okay. Right. And so I'm trying to play that with this. So Isaac. Laura.
I knew it. I knew it. I think for me, the way that this is playing out with my character is wandering to try and find home, right? My character lost her parents, and that's the goal for Ollie, is to try and find her family. and maybe pick up some found family along the way, right? Radcliffe is Ollie's new parent and found Nopi and is making new friends, but this idea that like you're finding the people around you that's your home and trying to wander and travel to get to this other family that you lost and find yourself along. So yeah. I'm gonna pass it to Tim.
I think for me, it's more about for Fletch helping others find their way. Because Fletch knows his way. He has all the maps. He doesn't know everything about a place, but he knows how to get to a place. And it's about helping others find their way and find their way home. Helping Flip find his way home. So for me, I think it's more about helping others get to where they need to be. And because the road is home for Fletch, so wandering around is Fletch's home. I'm gonna pop it over to Neil.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about, the answer said about like what wandering means, exploring, discovering, reflecting, and what home that's self. And so when I see Wanderhome, both of those together, it's me discovering, reflecting. That's what it. So I will go with
I think currently it is. It just kind of right now it means journeying to figure it out. Don't think it invokes much more than that at the moment. Who's left?
I think it's me and Scott.
Go ahead, Menachem.
There's a fancy word out there, and I can't remember it, for like wandering aimlessly without purpose, but wandering aimlessly with purpose, right? And in a way that illuminates and gets you right to where you need to be. I know it's I probably saved it somewhere in my image files. And I think of shows like Xena and Hercules to show my age, because I watched them when they were, back on originally on, and they didn't live anywhere, right? But they were totally at home with themselves. So the idea that it contradicts our contemporary American sense of, for sure, of, get a house, own lots of things, the idea that home can be where you're at and who you're with and what you're doing instead of just a place. At least Scott.
I don't think I gave it much thought as a single word. It was just the idea that the stories we were telling were not about being in a home, but about the travel back to a home, right? And then when you pointed out that was a single word, I very much thought of what you just described, Menachem, that the idea that the wandering itself is that place of comfort, or where you find that sense of home, of belonging. And I think that definitely is in tune with kind of what I said initially about how I see home, or how home was described recently to me.
Excellent. Thank you all for taking the moment to reflect, even in our fun. See, even in silliness, we can still reflect deeply.
Mhm.
For the end, we say goodbye to our characters by saying our characters' names. Everybody's saying goodbye, and then we say goodbye to the player, often wishing sweet dreams or something of the like.
I'm Esme.
Bye, Esme.
Hey, Esme.
Good
Goodbye,
night,
Esme.
Esme.
I'm Tennille. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
night,
Tennille.
Tennille.
Good night, Tennille.
I played Fletch.
Good night, Fletch.
Night,
Good night,
Good night,
Fletch.
Fletch.
I'm Tim. Good night.
Pleasant dreams.
Good
Tim.
night.
Good night, Tim.
Ciao.
Playing Nope.
Hey,
Hey,
Nope.
Nopey.
Nope.
Hey,
Nopey.
Nopey.
Good night, Nope.
And
Nope.
my name's Dustin.
Good
Hey.
night, yes, P.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Dustin.
Good night,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Good night, Dustin.
I've been Ollie tonight.
Ale.
Hey,
Good night,
Ollie.
Ollie.
Hope you're
Night,
tired out.
Ollie.
Keep living now.
Ollie's never tired out. But I am. I'm Laura.
Good night,
Good
Laura.
Night,
Laura.
Pleasant
tired
dreams,
Laura.
all.
Good night, Laura.
I
Hey, click.
Hey,
Good night, Click.
Good night.
click.
Good night, Click.
Click.
Fun to say.
and I'm also Menachem.
Good night,
Good night,
Menachem.
Good night,
Good night,
Menachem.
Menachem.
Go ahead.
Just
I'm
you and
Scott.
Kayla. Hey, Sorrel.
Oh, I'm Sora.
Who am I?
Sorrel.
It's a night.
Good night,
Good night,
Sorrel.
Sorrel.
Sorrel. Good night,
Good night,
Sorrel.
Good night,
Sorrel.
Sorrel.
Night.
My
Good
tea
night,
friends.
everybody.
Sorrow.
I'm
Get some
Scott.
s-
Good
get
night,
some
Scott.
sleep, Scott.
Good night, Scott.
Good night,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yes,
Sounds
get
like you
some
can use
sleep,
it.
Scott.
I almost did the same thing. The last one.
I'm Radcliffe.
Bye,
Hey,
Radcliffe.
Radcliffe.
Good night.
Good night,
Bye,
Radcliffe.
Radcliffe.
And I'm Kayla.
Good
Good
night,
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 Kayla.
Good night,
Kayla.
Night,
Kayla.
Kayla. Thank
Good night, everybody else who watched and participated and commented.
Good
Thank
night,
you all.
everyone.
Bye.
Don't forget to go check out Women Are Werewolves on Kickstarter
Tomorrow.
and
Hmm?
check out Wanderhome. It's an awesome game. You can find it at website I don't have on hand right now.
Possum Creek.
Awesome Creek Games.
Mhm.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Night.